Health is order, disease is disorder. Within the body, there is a constant interaction between order and disorder. The wise man learns to be fully aware of the presence of disorder in his body and then sets about to re-establish order. He understands that order is inherent in disorder and that a return to health is thus possible. The internal environment of the body is constantly reacting to the external environment. Disorder occurs when these two are out of balance. To change the internal environment in order to bring it into balance with the external environment, one must understand how the disease process occurs within the psychosomatic being. Ayurveda provides explanations of disease that make it possible to restore order and health from disorder and disease. In Ayurveda, the concept of health is fundamental to the understanding of disease. This means deprived of karma and ease means comfort. Therefore, before discussing disease, we must understand the meaning of comfort or health. A state of health exists when the digestive fire, Agni, is in a balanced condition, the bodily humors, Vata, Pitta and Kapha are in equilibrium. In this condition the three waste products, urine, feces and sweat, are produced to normal levels and are in balance. At the same time the senses are functioning normally, and the body, mind and consciousness are harmoniously working as one. When the balance of any of these systems is disturbed, the disease process begins. Because a balance of the above-mentioned elements and functions is responsible for natural resistance and immunity, even contagious diseases cannot affect the person who is in good health. Thus, imbalances of the body and mind are responsible for physical and psychological pain and misery. According to Ayurveda, disease may be classified according to its origin, psychological, spiritual or physical. Disease is also classified according to the site of manifestation, heart, lungs, liver and so forth. The disease process may begin in the stomach or to the intestines, but manifest in the heart or lungs. Thus, disease symptoms may appear in a site other than the locus of origin. Thus, imbalances of the body and mind are responsible for physical and psychological pain and misery. The individual constitution determines disease proneness. Vata diseases have their origin in the large intestine, Pitta diseases in the small intestine, and Kapha disorders in the stomach. Imbalanced humors in these areas will create certain signs and symptoms. The imbalance causing the disease may originate in the consciousness in the form of some negative awareness and it may then manifest in the mind, where the seed of the disease may lie in the deeper subconscious in the form of anger, fear or attachment. These emotions will manifest through the mind into the body. Repressed fear will create derangement of Vata, anger, excess Pitta, and envy, greed and attachment, aggravated Kapha. Sometimes, the imbalance causing the disease process may first occur in the body and then manifest in the mind and consciousness. Foods, living habits and environments with attributes similar to those of the dosha, humor, will be antagonistic to the bodily tissues. They will create an imbalance that is first manifested on the physical level, and later affects the mind through a disturbance in the tridosha. For instance, disturbed Vata creates fear, depression and nervousness. Excess Pitta in the body will cause anger, hate and jealousy. Aggravated Kapha creates greed and attachment. Thus, there is a direct connection between diet, habits, environment and emotional disorders. Agni is the biological fire that governs metabolism. It is similar in its function to Pitta and can be considered an integral part of the Pitta system in the body, functioning as a catalytic agent in digestion and metabolism. Pitta contains heat energy which helps digestion. This heat energy is Agni. Pitta and Agni are essentially the same with a subtle difference. Pitta is the container and Agni is the content. Pitta manifests in the stomach as the gastric fire, Agni. Agni is acidic in nature and its action breaks down food and stimulates digestion. Agni is also subtly related to the movement of Vata because bodily air kindles bodily fire. In every tissue and cell, Agni is present and necessary for maintaining the nutrition of the tissues and the maintenance of the autoimmune mechanism. Agni destroys microorganisms, foreign bacteria and toxins in the stomach and small and large intestines. In this way, it protects the flora in these organs. Longevity depends upon Agni. Intelligence, understanding, perception and comprehension are also the functions of Agni. The color of the skin is maintained by Agni and the enzyme system and metabolism totally depend upon Agni. As long as Agni is functioning properly, the processes of breaking down food and absorbing and assimilating it into the body will operate smoothly. When Agni becomes impaired because of an imbalance in the Tridosha, the metabolism is drastically affected. The body's resistance and immune system are impaired. Food components remain undigested and unabsorbed. They accumulate in the large intestine, turning into a heterogeneous, foul-smelling, sticky substance. This material, which is called ama, clogs the intestines and other channels, such as capillaries and blood vessels. It eventually undergoes many chemical changes which create toxins. These toxins are absorbed into the blood and enter the general circulation. They eventually accumulate in the weaker parts of the body, where they create contraction, clogging, stagnation and weakness of the organs and reduce the immune mechanism of the respective tissues. Finally, a disease condition manifests in the affected organs and is identified as arthritis, diabetes, heart disease and so on. The root of all disease is ama. There are many causes for the development of ama. For example, whenever incompatible foods are ingested, Agni will be directly affected as a result of the toxins, or ama, created from these poorly digested foods. Toxins are also created by emotional factors. This symptom indicates that ama exists in the large intestine, changes the flora of the gallbladder, depending upon which part of the tongue is aggravates pitta, causing inflamed patches on the mucous membranes of the stomach and small intestine. In a similar manner, fear and anxiety alter the flora of the large intestine. As a result, the belly becomes bloated with gas, which accumulates in pockets of the large intestine causing pain. Often this pain is mistaken for heart or liver problems. Because of the ill effects of repression, it is recommended that neither the emotions nor any bodily urge, such as coughing, sneezing and passing gas, should be repressed. Repressed emotions create an imbalance of Vata which in turn affects Agni, the body's autoimmune response. When Agni is low, an abnormal immune reaction may occur. This reaction may cause allergies to certain substances, such as pollen, dust and flower scents. Because allergies are closely related to the immune responses of the body, individuals who are born with an abnormal immune reaction often suffer from allergies. Imbalances in other bodily systems, such as the waste systems, also may result in disease. The body produces three waste products, or malas: feces, which are solid, and urine and sweat, which are liquid. The production and elimination of these is absolutely vital to health. Urine and feces are formed during the digestive process in the large intestine, where assimilation, absorption and discrimination between essential and non-essential substances take place. Feces are carried to the rectum for evacuation, urine is carried to the kidneys for filtration and then stored in the bladder for elimination, and sweat is eliminated through the pores of the skin. Though they were considered bodily waste products, the urine and feces are not strictly waste. They are, in fact, to some extent essential to the physiological functioning of their respective organs. For example, feces supply nutrition through intestinal tissues. Many nutrients remain in the feces after digestion. Later, after these are absorbed, the feces are eliminated. Feces also give strength to the large intestine and maintain its tone. If a person has no feces, the intestine will collapse. A person who suffers from constipation lives longer than one who suffers from diarrhea. If diarrhea continues for 15 days, death will follow. However, one can experience prolonged constipation and live, though it will cause problems in the bodily systems. Constipation creates distension and discomfort, flatulence and pains in the body, headache and bad breath. The urinary system removes the water, salt and nitrogenous wastes of the body. Urine is formed in the large
color
intestine.
of the urine depends
This
upon
waste
the diet.
product helps
If the
to
patient
maintain
has
the
a
normal
fever, which is a
concentration
PITA
of
disorder,
water,
electrolytes
the urine will
within the
become
body
darkish
fluids.
yellow or brownish.
The functioning of this
which is also a
depends
PITA
upon the
disorder,
water
causes
intake,
dark
diet,
yellow urine,
environmental temperature,
biopigmentation,
mental state and physical
may give
condition
the
of the
urine a
individual.
greenish color. Excess PITA may create high acidity in the urine. The substances that stimulate urination, such as tea, coffee and alcohol, also aggravate PITA. If the body retains water, the urine will be scanty and this water will accumulate in the tissues. This condition, in turn, will affect the blood and increase the blood pressure. So, balanced urine production is important for the maintenance of blood pressure and volume. Ayurvedic texts state that human urine is a natural laxative that detoxifies poisons in the system and helps absorption in the large intestine as well as the elimination of feces. If one takes a cup of urine, passed in midstream every morning, it will help to cleanse and detoxify the large intestine. Perspiration is a byproduct of fatty tissue. Sweating is necessary to regulate the body temperature. Sweat keeps the skin soft, maintains the flora of the pores of the skin and also maintains skin elasticity and tone. Excessive sweating is a disorder that can create fungal infection and reduces the natural resistance of the skin. Insufficient sweating will also reduce the resistance of the skin and it will cause the skin to become rough and scaly, creating dandruff. There is a special relationship between the skin and the kidneys since the excretion of watery wastes is primarily the function of these two organs. Thus, perspiration is indirectly related to the formation of urine. Like urine, perspiration is related to pitta. In summer people perspire profusely, but their urination is reduced because waste products are eliminated through perspiration. In winter, many people perspire less and urinate more. Excessive urination may cause too little perspiration production and excessive perspiring may result in a scanty volume of urine. Thus, it is necessary that the production of perspiration and urine be in balance. Diabetes, psoriasis, dermatitis and dropsy are examples of diseases resulting from an imbalance of perspiration and urine in the body. The human body consists of 7 basic and vital tissues called dhatus. The Sanskrit word dhatu means constructing element. These 7 are responsible for the entire structure of the body. They maintain the functions of the different organs, systems and vital parts of the body. They play a very important role in the development and nourishment of the body. They are also part of the biological protective mechanism. With the help of Agni, they are responsible for the immune mechanism. When one dhatu is defective, it affects the successive dhatu, as each one receives its nourishment from the previous one. 1. Rasa, plasma, contains nutrients from digested food and nourishes all the tissues, organs and systems. 2. Rakta, blood, governs oxygenation in all tissues and vital organs and maintains life. 3. Mamsa, muscle, governs the delicate vital organs, performs the movements of the joints and maintains the physical strength of the body. 4. Meta, fat, maintains the lubrication and oiliness of all the tissues. 5. Asi, bone, gives support to the body structure. 6. Majja, marrow and nerves, fills up the bony spaces and carries motor and sensory impulses. 7. Chakra and ardav, reproductive tissues, contain the ingredients of all tissues and are responsible for reproduction. The 7 metals are understood in the natural, biological, serial order of manifestation. The post-digestion of food, called nutrient plasma, contains the nutrition for all the 7 metals. This nutrient plasma is transformed and nourished with the help of heat, called dhatu agni, of each respective dhatu. Rasa is transformed into rakta, which is further manifested into mamsa, meta, etc. This transformation results from 3 basic actions: irrigation, nutrients are carried to the 7 dhatus through the blood vessels; selectivity, each dhatu extracts the nutrients it requires in order to perform its physiological functions; and direct transformation, as the nutritional substances pass through each one, the food for the formation of each subsequent one is produced. These 3 processes, irrigation, selectivity and transformation, operate simultaneously in the formation of the 7 metals. They are nourished and transformed in order to maintain the normal physiological functions of the different tissues, organs and systems.